Now, while Congress is considering raising the debt ceiling on Capitol Hill, Hawaii lawmakers, meanwhile, are racking up some freebies. This last legislative session, 41 state local lawmakers reported getting gifts valued at $200 or more. It's a story you can find on civilbeat.com.
And joining us live over Skype this morning is Civil Beat editor John Temple to tell us what else they found. Good morning, John, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's good to be with you.
It's interesting, all of the things you found, because some of them are quite simple to really big trips. What kinds of things did you find in your story?
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating when you see people reporting peanut butter sandwiches as a gift or a coffee mug. I mean, it's kind of like, well, okay, we get that those kinds of things are to influence lawmakers or be a reward for certain behavior. And but some lawmakers go the extra mile, and one of them is Speaker Calvin Say. He just reports everything he receives. You know, you're only supposed to report, or you're only required to report gifts from a single source worth at least $200. But to make it simple, he reports everything. So he actually gets the most gifts, or he reports the most gifts. But actually, some lawmakers receive a lot of money in gifts. Now, some of it makes total sense, and some of it might be a little controversial. For example, Representative Barbara Maramoto, she took almost $10,000 in gifts, most of it in travel from a group called Women in Government, to be able to attend conferences. Well, we can all understand that maybe to get informed and to be better at her job, that made a lot of sense. And the people who had the most gifts, or the $8,000–9,000 range, they were people who took a lot of travel. Though there were some like strange gifts, like what would you need a set of DVDs from Relativity Media of Hollywood? Like why would you give a lawmaker DVDs other than to sort of butter them up or get close to them?
And John, one of the things that I found was a little bit confusing was, I mean, these gifts are not supposed to influence these lawmakers, but when you think about it, they certainly can, right?
Absolutely, and I think that's the most interesting gray area. Like if you think about this year's legislative session, the issue of gifts was hugely controversial, and there was an attempt made to basically gut the gifts law and make it really easy for lawmakers to accept gifts, because they were mad that the Ethics Commission executive director said that nonprofits could not give gifts of tickets to charitable events where, you know, people speak and it's a dinner for the event. And yet right here we see that in the gifts, for example, Coalina Resort gave to the Senate president $250 tickets to the governor's ball. Well, how is that not meant to reward or influence him? You know, you got to ask why that was considered acceptable, but other gifts of tickets were not. And Senator Donovan Dela Cruz got the tickets to the same event from a construction firm. Well, okay, you know, it's unlikely that we're going to get those tickets, right? And it certainly raised a question.
It certainly does, John. And hey, even a peanut butter sandwich can be used to sweeten the deal. You can read more of your story in civilbeat.com, as we just discussed. And you can watch this interview again by going over to the morning section of our website, kitv.com/thismorning. John Temple, thank you.